Well, it once served as a spot for English settlers and pioneers looking for new beginnings right here in Saskatchewan. The Cannington Manor village, built in the 1800s and later abandoned, continues to tell the stories of the past through what is now a historic provincial site. Angela Stewart takes us on a tour.
Once home to a small and hopeful village, built by aristocratic newcomers, Cannington Manor promised new beginnings. Founded by Captain Edward Mitchell Pearce in 1882, this land was seen as the perfect place to lay roots in the Canadian West.
Him and his son Duncan came out to this area with the idea of homesteading, sort of saw this space, and it reminded him sort of the moors of where he grew up.
Fewer than 30 families lived in the village, but around 90 homesteads were spread throughout the area. As a result, Cannington Manor grew to include about 20 buildings, making it a major center for trade at the time.
They formed what's called the Moose Mountain Trading Company. Basically, this was a company town then. The company owned and operated a lot of the businesses or leased buildings out to people.
Workers like carpenters and blacksmiths would lease their buildings from the company, which eventually bankrolled the community and drew in even more prairie newcomers, some of them taking part in an agricultural training school here.
The idea being that young gentlemen, young bachelors would come out here, learn how to farm, and then apply for their own homesteads through the Homesteading Act.
But visions of the village's future quickly faded once the Canadian Pacific Railway built a branch line through neighboring communities, all but cutting off Cannington Manor from key trade routes in the early 1900s. More than 140 years later, only 2 of the original buildings remain, along with stone markings where the others once stood. But reconstructed sites and old photographs still bring the village to life. Only open to the public during the spring and summer months, Cannington Manor Provincial Historic Site will see between 3,000 and 5,000 visitors each year, with some discovering it for the first time.
Saw the sign, Cannington Manor, and I'd said to them that my daughter came here on one of her school field trips. I kind of knew it was a pioneering type village because I was a history teacher, so I kind of knew a little bit, but not a ton.
Once here, guests step into the shoes of a pioneer, picking up some of their skills along the way.
We learned to make a rope, and we learned about the bachelor's cabin, I think is what it was. So yeah, it's interesting. I like stuff like this.
The reason it is so tiny is because back in the day it was very popular for women to curl the front wisps of their hair.
The site is open until August 23rd for guests. The village may be gone, but its memory lives on through the stories of people who took a risk in coming to Western Canada, one that didn't always pay off. Angela Stewart, CTV News, Cannington Manor Provincial Historic Site.